They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it, this is where it goes down. I just happen to come apart. Little boy, little baby, I gotta make it.
Took a straight path nowhere. Life full of twists and turns, bumps and bruises. I live, I learn. I'm from that city full of yellow cabs and skyscrapers. Hard to get a start in these parts without paper, homie. I grew up in hell, a block away from heaven. That corner ain't 15 minutes, it move a 7. Pure snow. Bag it, then watch it go. Occupational options, get some blow with some hoes. Shoot the bull of the strap, learn to rap for the check. Fucking man, in the meantime, go ahead and pump a back. This my Regal Royal flow, my James Bond bounce. That 007 and 62 on my count. I'm an undercover liar, I lie under the covers. Look a bitch in the eyes and tell her, baby, I love you, you're my inspiration. You're my motivation, you're the reason that I'm moving with no hesitation. Yeah. So what? Yeah. I gotta hustle through the hustle and bustle, I make a move. Maneuver around the rats and rules, I'm from the school. A hard knock, shots pop, bodies drop, graveyard, pick a block, cause niggas want your spot. I'm trying to stack shit, then I go legit. Hollow tips, stuff them in the cause niggas trip. My cocaine endeavors give me corporate ties. I'm supposed to lose, watch me win against the odds. All I got is my words, balls, and my instincts. I'm trying to make it. We already made it, my friends think. We already on top, I got a bigger plan. No more controlled substances, I hand in hand. White collar visions, game changer listen. Big risk, big wins, equal bigger living. Perfect position, watch me transition. From caterpillar to butterfly in the sky. Yeah. I do this shit a little different. I do the way I do it. It's my shit. All this is my shit.
Let's go. Come here.
Y'all know the words to this shit, right? Do y'all know the words to this shit? I want you to sing it with me. They say this is a big rich town. Yeah, yeah. I just come from the poorest part. Right, right, city lights. I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. Yeah. I just got from wait a minute. They say this is a big rich town. Say what? I just come from right, city like.
What up, what up, what up, what up? What's good with everybody? What's happening? My apologies, my apologies. Of course, I get phone calls during the show because people who who holler at me sometimes don't realize that I'm on at 5 o'clock every day at 5 o'clock. But when they want something, it don't matter what time it is of the day for me. They just call. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. I know I can't be the only one that go through shit like that. I can't be the only one that go through things like that. Good evening. Trust me. The only reason why I'm coming on with this negative ass attitude right now is because it's been a tough day, an amazingly tough day. And as I get started to hook up for Wyatt-Live 5 p.m., everything crashes. I promise you. And then as I get going, my phone continues to ring. People that should know that I'm on every day at 5 o'clock, but they don't care. It's all about what they need. Do we all know someone like that? And I'm not talking about my damn children, because I wouldn't be mad right now if it was my kids calling me at 5 o'clock because they were in need of something. That's what I had children for. I produced my children so in need, I could be there for them. But some of y'all, not you, you're not here. You here doing what you're supposed to do. We watching and we talking, we having discussions. But some of my freaking peers, bro, it's amazing. Am I the only one? Hell no, I know I'm not. I'm not. Welcome to Wyatt-Live, the 5 p.m. drive home show. I want to say this name first because this is one word used by this individual. One word used by this individual. I could say a lot about a lot of the Wyatt-Live listeners and people who rock with us. But I want to say this one thing about this one particular person. They don't even know I'm about to say this. But Angela Kinney, sister, you the truth. Because I know we get a lot of hellos, how y'all doing, and all that, and that's great. I love that. But the one thing you're very consistent at, sister, is solutions. Solutions. We can bitch, complain, we can march, we can fight, we can throw our hands in the air, we can throw peace signs up, we can march, we can holler, we can fight, we can scrape. We can say we ain't gonna do that no more. We gonna say ain't gonna deal with this shit no more. We can say everything we want to say. We can go down to music hall, or excuse me, music hall, city hall. We can do all that. But I think we just want solutions. So Angela Kinney comes in every day with the same attitude and says solutions. Well, Crystal Smith, who hasn't been here in a while, says, no, Wyatt, that's not what she's saying. What she's saying is it's a greeting. Yeah. I take it as solutions. I take it as solutions. I get it. I know what it is. I just take it as, I take it as, let's get solutions. I understand what everybody's saying, but there's just an energy that I get from certain people that say certain things. I get it. Maybe I shouldn't have said it. You know what I mean? Maybe it looks crazy. But to be honest with you, I just see it as a motivational word for me. I could be totally out of line. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Let me see something. But I like your take. Oh, okay. I got you. Sorry. Listen. I want to get right into some things because it's going to be a short show if you don't mind. All right. I've had a few solutions. All right. I've had a few solutions, some problems to deal with this whole weekend. And I came up with my own solutions to those problems, quite frankly. So maybe that's why I felt the way I felt when I seen what she said, you know. Let me just start off by saying thank you for being here to everybody. My energy level is getting there. I'm getting there. If you knew what I had to do to get in front of the microphone today, you might understand why I'm climbing to where I need to be to get these messages across today. I want to thank everybody for being here. Let me start by saying this. My weekend was amazing. I was stuck in the airport. Over the weekend. Here's the thing. If you all don't know, Southwest Airlines just got caught on some BS. I don't know how many of y'all actually know, but they've had over 3,000 flights canceled since Friday. Over 300 today. And they come up with some bull crap by saying it's air traffic control and the weather. Listen, be careful what people tell you and the information they pass on. Some of them lie. And it's so obvious that this is a lie. I was stuck at the airport probably 4.5 hours with the airline that I use. And it was not because of weather. It was not because of air traffic control. It was because of lack of staff. Okay, what the airline industry, what the people don't want you to know is that they're mandating this vaccine shot. Now, y'all know I'm vaccinated. Yes. I don't try to make people feel bad that don't do it. I think it's by choice for whatever reason, religion, you don't want to get it. You don't feel whatever it is. That's your prerogative. You have that right to do that. But when the government starts saying you must do this in order to function and to make a living, they way out of line for that, y'all. So I'm with the employees of Southwest because I know the true reason why all these flights have been canceled. And the truth of the matter is they don't have the pilots. They don't have the baggage claim handlers. They don't have the people to put those flights in the air. And these mugs they're going to BS us and say it's air traffic controller as if they have their own staff for that shit, when in fact they don't. Delta, Frontier, Spirit, United, American Airlines, they all use the same air traffic controllers. They all fly in the same weather. So somebody explain to me how in the hell one airline has problems with the weather, air traffic controllers over the weekend. How is that possible? No one else did? Have you heard any other airline dropping 3,000 flights over the weekend? Have you heard of anyone else doing that? So just keep it 100, Southwest. Just tell everybody the truth. I was stuck in the airport for 4.5 hours. I don't even roll like that. Y'all, you should know. Should I get to the airport when they just about to say last call to get on the plane, last call? Because I know how to move through airports. I know how to get there. I know what I'm doing. I know exactly how much time I need to get to my gate. But let me explain to you why I was 4 hours behind. One of the reasons was because they wouldn't allow my bags to get on the plane. This is one of the reasons why, and I never take luggage on a plane. This has just happened to be one particular time that I took some luggage and I had to check a bag. I generally don't do that. I'm usually there for a day or two. I go to the crib or whatever. I only carry a carry-on and I'm good. I don't even go to baggage. This particular time I had something I had to bring back to Cincinnati, and I did that and it cost me. They were not allowing us to put our bags through baggage claim because they didn't have enough baggage handlers. That's the truth. That airline told us the truth. That airline actually told us the truth. You might be wondering why I'm pissed off about that. I'm pissed off about that because we have someone who told us at the beginning, during election time, that they would never put a mandate down. Someone please tell me, did I not tell y'all that this government will find a way to mandate this shot on people by using your income, your employment as being the bad guy? It won't come from the administration. It's going to come from your employer. We had this conversation. I brought it up and I said, Biden is going to use your work people, your workforce, your employment to push this vaccine down our throats. And it's going to be ugly. And they're trying to stay out of the way of being the bad guy because they always called everybody else bad people. Who remember that show? Who remember those shows? I've did 2 or 3 shows talking about this same incident. And now here we are facing that. Here we are facing it. And then here's the other thing. Okay, you don't go get the shot. So your job tells you, well, you got to get tested once a week. And then here's the next move. Okay, I'm going to go get the test once a week, every Friday, every payday or whatever. I'm going to go take the test before I come in. So what's the next thing? What's the next thing they do? Here's where they price you out. Here's where they price you out. I'm willing to take the test every week on my job. For argument's sake, let's just say it's myself. But what I can't do is I can't afford my insurance for not being vaccinated. Because the insurance companies are now saying you're a high risk. So I'm going to take the test every week. I'm going to do what I need to do to stay employed. I'm going to take the test every week. But now my insurance, my premium is sky high. It's $4,000 a month. Now, you're used to paying maybe $500, $600 a month for your insurance through your employer, because some employers pay 50%, 75%, or whatever. I don't know your plan. Some employers pay a majority of your percentage of your insurance per month. Well, now they're not going to do that. So now your premium is $6,000 a month. You're responsible for it. And not to mention, you have a $10,000 deductible. How in the hell are you going to do this? How are you going to do this? How would you get by? How would you do that? So don't tell me that this thing is not mandated. It's not even just mandated. Damn it, it's hostage. It has everybody hostage. Now, let me explain one other thing that pisses me off about people we supposed to believe in who come on with some bullshit. Dr. Fauci. I know he might be loved by some, but I see a lot of inconsistencies in the stories. Dr. Fauci has told everybody in America on television, he says this shit. He says, I'm not sure how Christmas gonna look for travelers this year. I don't know if everybody should come out. I'm not sure that's a good idea. Man, the jig is up, bro. What the hell y'all talking about? What are you talking about, Dr. Fauci? You got people panicked. Things just don't look right to me. Here's the thing. Let me ask you. Has anybody seen the football stadiums over the years? I mean, over the weekends? This year. Thousands on top of thousands of people are in football stadiums. Concerts, indoor concerts are opening back up. Somebody please explain to me why these guys. Now, I don't know if y'all heard about this, but the government has invested. And the reason when I say invested is because when you buy something from a company prematurely, damn it, you've invested in that company. The government has bought 1.7 million pills that's supposed to take the place of the shot for those that want to take it in pill fashion versus a shot. Great idea, right? But it's not approved. But why is the government buying 1.7 million of these damn unapproved pills? Why? Somebody explain to me. Listen, y'all want to tax the rich? Fine. Here's what the problem is with American government. We don't overspend. We just don't spend properly. Do you understand what I'm saying? They spend money on shit that's just not necessary. Now, right now, they're talking about sending humanitarian money to Afghanistan. I got to keep my foot on this. You're willing to send Afghanistan, the country, more foreign aid at this point because they have 18 million people in Afghanistan that's in their bread line, that's in on their welfare system, but it's literally a bread line. 18 million. Hell, they only got like 36 million, so that's half of their population is depending on the government to eat. Is that our responsibility? What about the people in America that are paying these high-ass prices for everything? We are funding all of this bull crap. I don't know why people aren't pissed about this. Is it just because we live our everyday regular lives? Is that what it is? Somebody explain this shit to me. Why aren't we in an outrage? Why aren't we in an uproar about this? Am I being a chaos agent right now for telling this truth? Man, I went to the gas station the other day and it cost me $12 more than it normally costs me to fill my car up. Now you say $12, Wyatt, that's it? That's all? Well, you add that $12 up with the other $36 that I spent more than I normally do at the grocery store. And then you add on some other things that you're paying a little extra for. And them little bitty ass things tend to add up a little bit. They do. They add up. Everything is a little bit here, a little bit there. And then when you add them all together, you messed around and you paying way more than what you thought you was going to pay. Somebody give me a solution to this problem. Somebody explain to me why we're having all this high spending. Why? I don't have the answer. Because if I tell you what it is, it's just me being I'm against the Democratic Party. I'm against the Republicans. I don't give it. Listen, they don't phase. That's not where I'm at in life. I don't deal with politicians. Politicians that represent people, none of them live the way the people they represent. None of them. None of them. So we got to get much better. I'm trying to find the solutions. I'm trying to figure out what it is that we can possibly do to turn this thing around. How in the hell do you continuously send, USA, money to Afghanistan? Meanwhile, your home people, us, are suffering. We ain't suffering yet, but it's coming. You sending billions of dollars to other countries. Why aren't we talking about this? And then you talk about paying fair taxes and everybody tax and this tax and that tax. The bottom line is if the government stop just spending money at ill wills, we won't have to pay as much tax. Somebody explain it to me. Come on, Angela, say something. I hear you. So she said people aren't pissed because at least Trump's not in the office. Yeah, I know. Brainwashed. Trump is not the solution to the problem, nor is he the cause of the problem. Some people can't even explain shit without bringing his name up. Why? Why can't we explain today? Trump is yesterday. Who's at the wheel? What we got going on? Why can't we talk about what's going on right now? Shit, they better make minimum wage $15 an hour, but that's going to make inflation go up even higher. Don't y'all see what's going on here, man? Or is it just me? Am I the only one in a damn turtle shell under shelter right now? Like, damn, what is going on, man? Is anybody not heat, but air conditioning or, utility bill gone up a little bit more? Have y'all noticed that yet? Oh, man, I'm telling you, bro, when you end up paying a little punk ass $10, $12 here and there and this and this and this and that, before you know it, you will be $300 over your budget each month. Am I the only one that's seeing this slow death come of getting in your pocket? Oh, my God. And then you're going to go buy. The government went and spent. Come on, bro. What happened to the damn vaccination shots that you bought when you bought 1 billion of them? Here's another point that they like to brag about. We bought 125,000 shots and sent them to another country. Why are you telling us that? You have a problem getting your own people vaccinated by the way you're doing it, and then you're spending our money to help somebody else, and you're not putting forth that same money or that effort to get us taken care of. It's fraud to me, guys. It's straight fucking fraud. Here's what you have to do. Follow the money. Who all has stock in these vaccination companies? Pfizer's been getting sued out the ass for 40 years for stuff that has been approved by the FDA. But I bet you these politicians have a stake in the game, man. They got a juicy ass stake in the game. I promise you. I bet you some of them got their money invested in that pill company as well, because we going to buy 1.7 million of these pills. You don't know how much what if the pills cost $2 a piece, $3 a piece, $5 a piece? We don't get no information. We get no information of what we spending on that. It's not approved. How many of those shots got approved, pre-bought by the government? You know they only have so much time on the shelf. Do you know how many shots, how many vials of vaccine got thrown out because of unused vaccines? Do you know? Who paid for that? The government did. Who paid for that? We did. Let me explain something to you guys. I don't have the dictionary. I don't have the dictionary right in front of me, but I'm not a dumbass man, okay? I'm an educated black man who can tell you this. Vaccine does not mean you can catch some shit even with the vaccine and it'll help you not kill it. I was even misinformed. I told you I was vaccinated. I believe in the vaccine. However, I better not catch COVID. There's a false narrative out there that says, and I'm guilty. I want to apologize to anyone that's heard me say this. I'm guilty. I did not even do my due diligence and say, well, do the real basic thing of asking, what does vaccine even mean? You see what I'm saying? What does the word vaccine even mean? If you do your due diligence, a vaccine is something that is supposed to keep you immune from whatever the vaccine is for. Vaccine is not, we had chickenpox vaccines, measles and all that. When was the last time you seen a kid with the chickenpox, measles, mumps? Has anybody had that in a while? Has anyone had those in a while? Any of your children? Sorry, I gotta put us up so I can see the comments. I apologize, but I gotta do this so I can see what we doing here. Okay, guys, my apologies. I wasn't all the way set up, but now I am. So someone please answer that for me. I'm curious. I want to know. I'm going to look at the comments. Crystal Smith, she's probably talking about pricing. She says, honestly, I haven't noticed except gas. It's coming, sis. I'm not wishing it on us by no means. No means whatsoever. Nothing. Sis, I hope you maybe, are eating certain foods that are, not being touched by what's going on, but there's a lot of stuff at the harbors, these trucks, and it's just bad. It's a lot going on. Hell, I buy these prepackaged salads, to be honest with you. They've gone up. Bread has gone up. It's little bitty things. And by the time you get the cash register, you're $42 or $50 more than what you normally do. I'm telling you, I paid $12 more for gas. Went to the grocery store the other day, and I know that I go in there a lot and I pick up things that I don't have no business picking up. But I also remember what I got an idea what I'm going to spend. Well, that's a smart thing to do. Tracy Dillingham says, better stay on evening billing and pay a little extra. I agree. That's a great thing to do. Great thinking, sis. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Even rent is high. Stephen Speed comes in and says that. Angela Kinney says, don't even talk about the cost of groceries and other necessities. Absolutely. I'm trying to tell y'all this is going to be ridiculous. And I mean, for some people who may have set rents, who have set things, who know how much they have coming in, they may not even see the difference yet. Inflation is going to hit them too. And you know what's going to happen? Anybody that's on some type of government assistance, they're going to have to get a raise. These folks are not going to be able to make it through certain situations we have going on in America right now if they don't get a raise. Social Security for older folks, it needs to go up for them. They shouldn't have to eat the cost of what's going on right now. They shouldn't have to do that. They should get extra. All old people don't just sit in some old folks' home. Some of them drive cars. They have higher gas prices. They go to the grocery store. They have to spend money too. Let's see. Crystal Powell. What's up, sis? She says antiviral pill. What the hell? And they ordered 1.7 million of them before it's approved by the FDA. Why? Who has stake in the game? Can we figure that shit out? Can we figure that out? Who has stake in the game? Come on. This shit, politicians, this is not hard to figure out. You still got a man coming on national TV saying, I'm not quite sure if this Christmas is going to be good. I can tell you this, Fauci, ain't nobody canceling they damn airline tickets based on the shit you talking about. Not when NFL teams are scoring touchdowns and colleges are scoring touchdowns and Cincinnati Bearcats are number 3 in the nation. Ain't nobody missing shit for this shit no more. They're not going to do it, bro. Somebody explain it to me. If you can't understand that the jig is up by now and that there was a jig, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Do you know how much money is in the air right now? Do you know? And here's the thing. How aligned are you with any of that money? Being an everyday person, such as myself, how aligned are we with the $3 trillion? They just gave Afghanistans that came to America $6 billion. Somebody explain that shit. How much of that money are going to the illegal immigrants, now going to be legal immigrants in America? And we still sitting back waiting for what? What are you waiting for? Yeah. Only my brother David Ross in Milwaukee can say this shit. He says, wings are higher. The beef. Wings are higher. I'm not going to lie. I'm on a diet, but I do eat grilled wings. Okay, I can't go cold turkey, no pun intended. I'm just saying it's very difficult for me. I can't just flat out stop. I'm not eating fried food, but baked chicken is definitely on my menu. Let me see here. What's up, Justin? Justin Sharp says this different than those pox because this is an animal derived respiratory spread virus that vaccines ain't doing shit. Well, don't call it a vaccine. Don't call it a vaccine then. Look up the word vaccine and you tell me if it fits in description of what they're selling us. Chicken pox, measles, and all the other things that you're vaccinated for prevents those diseases. COVID-19, these vaccines from Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, and all that, I'm not saying don't go get it. I'm not saying that at all. But don't tell me when I get this shot that I'm not immune. Then this isn't a vaccine. I understand what's been expressed and what's been told to us. I'm not here to fight that. I know what's been told to us. What's been told to us is this don't stop you from getting it. Hell, I've said it on the show. Then don't call this a vaccine. Don't call it a vaccine. See, I see too much play here. I see too much play in the language, and then I see too much play in the shit that like Fauci and them doing. I'm not sure if we gonna have a Christmas this year with your families and stuff. What you want us to do? Stay cabin fevered up? This makes no sense, man. It just don't read right at this point. 1.7 million of the, okay, if they won't take the shot, maybe we'll get them to take the pill. And I'll be honest, if I had an option, I don't want the shot. I've took the shot, but I would take a pill over a shot if this was on the up and up. I'm just being honest. I would rather take a pill, drink it. Little pill, look like a Tylenol, look like a sinus pill. I'd rather take that than a shot any day, I'll be honest. But I need a little help trying to understand. You're making people take a shot or a vaccine that have already contracted COVID-19. I'm not understanding this. I'm not against this. I'm just trying to make it make more sense to me. Tracy Dillingham says Christmas is canceled at my house. Kids are grown. Well, what about the ones that still want Santa Claus? What about the ones that have grandmothers or grandfathers that are have more todays than tomorrows. Not to be light about this shit. This is real talk. I think responsible people can do what needs to be done to see their family members and travel. We've been doing it. But here's the play. I don't like the fact that they're using things. Justin says no vaccine gives you immunity. When was the last time anybody had chicken pox, had the measles, had the mumps? There's a vaccine for that, correct? Aren't kids taking a vaccine for the measles, the chicken pox? Have you seen a kid? Let me scroll down. Maybe somebody's seen one, and I just haven't got to the comment yet. Stephanie Hyde just put the price. She just put probably Kroger's on blast. She says, "Oh, okay, Forest Park. That is ridiculous. $10.99 for some bacon." Jesus. All right. What is it normally? $10? $10.50? Yeah, keep laughing. Them 50 cents and them 75 cents, they add up. Janine says, what about those who have not been sick throughout the entire pandemic? You mean like me? You? Everybody in my house, but no, 50% of my house had COVID-19. I'm like, damn, really? Okay, my daughter had a headache for a day. My wife had a headache and she had the flu. So she did have the flu type symptoms and shit wasn't going good. But it was never to the point where we were like, oh, 911. We got to get this shit out of here. It was never that. 26 million people had COVID-19. 26 million. At the end of the day, 600,000 died. Sounds like a big number. It is a big number. But it's less than 2%. Now, I don't think anybody should die, want to die. I'm not trying to talk down on it. But I'm being real here. This shit was treated like it was a Netflix special. Like, I'm just being honest, like COVID-19, Netflix. Birdcage type shit. Better close all the schools. Out of that 600,000 people that had COVID, let me ask you something. Were there something in common? Wasn't there some things in common? Yeah. Pre-existing. There were probably some people, without sounding light about this, there were probably some people that had COVID that were great, healthy athletes, and they just didn't pull through. Somebody's immune system got compromised. I can see that happening. I don't even know how I got on this COVID shit. Fauci, bro, what are you doing, bro? You're going to sit here and tell us our Christmas is going to be messed up. But what are you saying to the people that's getting their tickets snapped at the damn football games? Explain that shit to me. Are you saying that to the people down at the line? Have you seen the hot dog lines at the stadiums? 6 feet, 6 feet. They ain't doing none of that shit. The beer man is running out of beer, running through the aisles. People still doing this. Let me get a drink. Let me get one. Bring us two. You in the center aisle of the stadium. And they passing beers down the line. Thank you. And your beer then went past all those faces to get your beer right at your seat. You ain't thinking about COVID-19. I guess I'm lying. Did y'all watch the fight over the weekend? Did you see all those people in the building? I was a special guest over the weekend, I must admit. I had a great time over the weekend. Y'all know one of the guys that listen to our show, and he has his own podcast, His name is Fame Rothstein. He has a betting channel, and I was a special guest. I think it was on Saturday morning. It may have been Saturday morning on his betting show. And he knows my background in boxing, and I had a great time on the show. And we talked boxing. And there's a big fight. I think it was Saturday that we had I was on the show. The fight was Saturday night. Fame had me on as a special guest to talk about the Wilder Fury fight. Okay? And I made a bold prediction. My genie in the bottle made a prediction that Wilder was going to lose. Fame brought out all of the betting edges and this and that. And I don't really get into that. I'm a licensed promoter in boxing. So I don't really bet and all that type of stuff. You know, it's not really ethical to do stuff like that. But, you know, I'm not like some big time dude that can affect the betting or the wager lines or nothing like that. I just feel like it's unethical for me to do certain things being into the sport, a professional level of the sport. Well, Fame asked me a simple question. He said, who do you think's going to win? And I told him. And I probably told him, I kept saying, can I be honest? He knows me. Can I give it the Wyatt-Live honesty? I'm going to tell you about that in a little bit. I gave it the Wyatt-Live honesty, guys, and I'm going to tell you what I did. Fame will tell you if he calls in, or anybody that's seen the show. They'll say, Wyatt said exactly what was going to happen, and it played out exactly the way I said it was going to happen. Now, for y'all that don't believe me, I got receipts. Go on over to Fame's channel. Go to him on Instagram. I don't know if it's on Facebook, but go over there to him. I flat out told you what was going to happen, and it played out. The only thing I got wrong is what round it was going to happen in, because I wasn't quite sure, and I never predicted a round, but I made it clear that what was going to happen was going to happen. And the way it was going to happen. Here's the other thing. I want to say this. For you R. Kelly fans, or used to be R. Kelly fans. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's some people shaming you if you still listening to R. Kelly. Well, there's a whole lot of shaming you better start doing, brothers and sisters, because R. Kelly music is up. His sales are up. His streams are up. His sales are up 500%. Why is that? Am I mad? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't shame people. I don't care if people find R. Kelly music as dope as it was before they knew what he was doing, or he was found guilty of doing what he's doing, because you best believe that R. Kelly had been known in the black community for the shit he got accused of and convicted of. They've known it for 25 years, and they still rocked his music at weddings, at receptions, at parties. They did all of that. They did all of that. Excuse me 1 second. I got to take a quick little, not a break. While I'm taking this little thing, I want you to just watch this right here. Just watch this right here. This is not part of the conversation. I just want to, my dog trying to get out. I don't want him to be all shell shocked. So if you don't mind, watch this right here. And as you watch this, I'm going to let my dog out and I'll be right back. I'm not even going to talk about it. I just need people to watch this 1 second right here. This is my man. This is my man. I want y'all.
I don't like to waste time on stupid conversation. There's no profit in that. So if I'm around people that are always complaining with no solutions, then I'm wasting real estate in my brain for what I need to project. And what I project in my brain is what I project in my reality. So that real estate only has to be for evolution, things that are going to help me get where I got to go. You understand? Help me evolve. So if my conversation with you makes me stagnate, we don't have too much conversation either. I don't have no time for no stupid ass conversation.
Yep. Thought I'd throw that in there for my own reasons. Yeah, some people want you to think people are crazy. Some people want you to think people are crazy because of what they do and what they say. I feel like that sometimes. I feel that way sometimes. All right, let me get back on topic. I had to let the dog out. All right. So I was talking about Wilder and Fury, right? And then I was talking about R. Kelly. So R. Kelly's music is up now, guys. It's up 500% and the streaming is up. I'm not going to shame anybody. Y'all can keep on stepping to the music, step to the way of love and all of that. If that's what you choose to do, do it. But if you're going to cut off R. Kelly music, let's be clear. Don't just cut off the music that you hear his voice on. You got to take a serious stand. See, this is hypocrisy at its finest. People that just talk shit. I call those folks what? We call those chaos agents. So if you're going to cut R. Kelly off, make sure you cut off every song that the man wrote and produced for every other artist, because that's his work. If you support his song in the elevator, when you hear it on the elevator, you better stop the elevator and jump out of it. I'm talking about a song that was written and produced by R. Kelly that another artist sings. Don't support it. Don't support it. If you don't support the Cincinnati Bengals because you protesting the NFL, don't talk about them at all. See, this is hypocrisy at its finest. I'm gonna pick and choose when things are when it fits my narrative and fits what I want to talk about and fits what I'm doing, then I'm gonna push it off on everybody for what I want it to be. No, if you protesting the NFL, don't ever mention them. If you protesting R. Kelly, just don't mention them. Don't even have nothing to do with it. That's how you walk away. If I'm protesting the rib joint that somebody then did and treated our community all crazy or whatever, I'm not going to spend my money with them. I ain't got to talk about them. I'm just not going to spend my money with them. That's it. That's the biggest protest you can possibly do, is just don't support somebody financially. Justin Sharp says it's because people think they about to strip it from all platforms and they need them albums. I'm one of them people. They're not going to strip it, and you will always be able to get it. You will always be able to get it. Trust me, there's too many outlets out here that you will be able to download it or whatever. Even if the man's family or his estate or his children start a stream or whatever, he'll still be able to do it. They'll still be able to do it. What you think he gonna do? Live well in jail? You want to hurt you don't want this shit to hit your ears. You don't want anybody to benefit from it because of what he did. What about his family? I'm just curious. What about his children? Should his children pay the price for what he did? What is he gonna do? Have $30 million on the books in the joint? What good is that? There's not much difference from having 30 million on the books in a federal penitentiary and having $30. You can only spend so much. What are you gonna do? Have a fucking pillowcase full of tuna cans? He got more tuna than everybody. Paid ass Kelly. 30 million is nothing in the joint. What you gonna do? Pay for your protection? That's about all you got going for you. So I just wanted to let people know, stop letting people, if you want to listen to R. Kelly, do what you do, man. Don't let nobody shame you for listening to R. Kelly. That's ridiculous to me. Because here's the thing. You got so many people that support things that are not really in the favor of you. There's a lot of companies out there that don't support you back. You spend your money with companies and they don't support your communities. All right, so look, let's talk about this situation. I know a lot of people are like, oh, my bad. Hold on one second. I see that text. All right, give me 2 ticks, man. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I seen it. Somebody just texted me and asked me if I seen the guy, the paraplegic, the guy in the wheelchair get pulled out of the car by the police. You know why I don't want to talk about that? I'm going to be honest with you. It's brand new. Somebody hit us up in the Facebook Live in a Wyatt-Live Messenger family group about the man who got pulled out. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's in the Wyatt-Live Messenger group. Someone sent it. Several people sent it. And one of the reasons why I don't want to talk about that situation, some people will say, well, see, Wyatt, you never talk about it when the police dead ass wrong. Well, what I seen, the police are dead ass wrong. But what I don't want to do is talk about a case that I have absolutely no information on. What do I need to see? I need to know just how much is going on in that case. I know that both people, in a sense, were wrong. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, Lord, Wyatt, what are you talking about? All I'm saying to you is when the man told him to get out of the car, there was a whole nother way for the police to handle that shit. The police could have handled that shit a million different ways. Here's what I do know. The police know a little bit more about this situation than you and I do. They know a little bit more about this. That man called for somebody to come with the cameras and all that old shit. Crazy thing about it is the video that you all see that is released to the public, that's from webcam of body cam of the police. So that also speaks volumes to me. The police released that video. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm going to take my stand on who I am as Wyatt, and I'm not going to talk about it until all the information is out. Because all y'all seen was what, a 1.5-minute video for some shit that happened down the street and that's been recorded? We don't have all that information. We don't know what's going on. The police, from what, let's just, for argument's sake, let me just speak on this. If this thing play out the way we see it, and that's it, like it's cut and dry, that's it, the police are dead wrong. Dead wrong. Not one time did I hear the police officer say, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're not in a wheelchair. You're not this, you're not that. Not one time did I hear any of that. So that speaks volumes to me. Okay, I tell you, I don't look at everything, I listen. He never denied him being in a wheelchair. I'll tell you later why I feel the way I feel about him not ever saying, no, you're not. You're not in a wheelchair. I'll tell you later. Just let it play out. Chaos agents brought it to the forefront. So I always have to investigate what we got going on. That's just me. You don't have to like me for being methodical in my thought process. But at the end of the day, it works for me. Just pay attention to things other than what you see. Sometimes you got to let your ears be your eyes. Do I think the police are wrong? At this point, absolutely. And if they are wrong, and if they are 100% wrong, I'll give you even more. I'll give you more of me, of that situation, if we prove them to be 100% wrong. But I'm going to tell you something. You have to let it play out to see, because you will be surprised how some of these things play out. But why? Why would the police allow that video to come out? That don't work in their favor. Not from our perspective, not from what we see. Let's give it a little bit. Let's give it a little bit. Just let it breathe a little bit. Don't jump to conclusions. We seen what we seen. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the explanations are. Has anybody heard from the police? Has anybody heard the explanation of why the police took that aggressive stance? Has anybody heard that? Or once again, we're going to take the video and let the video tell the entire story. Let's just see. Right, Tracy. Tracy Dillingham says, don't listen to Kels, but eat Papa John's. Okay, you want me to speak on that for a hot second, Tracy? Check this out. Not only do y'all eat Papa John's, and you know what that shit is about, they went and got the biggest black man in the world to try to justify Papa John's pizza. They went and got Shaq, got him a whole pizza, got him franchises, and all he is a big-ass 350-pound, 7'1" cloud of dust for us not to be able to see what the shit just will happen. You see how they use athletes to blind us and keep us dumb on shit? Am I wrong for saying that? I like me some Shaq, but come on, Shaq, you worth $450 million, brother. You couldn't find Geico or somebody else to get involved with, the General Insurance or somebody. You went ahead and sold out for the pizza man because they can throw you some franchises. Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. This is some bullshit. And you see how they use and why they use athletes to do what they do. I know this is not a popular conversation. It's not a popular conversation. Let me see. Terry Coleman says the police said they pulled him over because he was coming from a known drug house. Then went on to talk about how much money he had on him. Wasn't it like 20 grand or something like that? 20 grand? Don't matter. Could have had $20 on him. Let's let the story play out, guys. I'm like that type of dude. I'm that type of dude. I want to hear what the police have to say. They haven't made a statement yet, really. See, it's in Crump and them field now. It's in their land. It's in their world right now. And let them go ahead and make up some shit first and then let it fit. Let's see if it fit into what the police say. See, when Crump and them start lying, then the police got to come out with what they consider the truth. We'll weigh both sides bullshit, and then we'll come up with where we need to be. I promise you, that's always how it works out. That's always how it works out. So listen, let me do this. I don't want to talk about that anymore until I have some evidence, or, not evidence, until I have more of what happened. I'll be honest. I'm just that type of dude. Let me just talk about this real fast. There was one other thing real fast. Let me just say it. I got you. All right. Sorry about that. I was reading a text message that came through. Somebody said something about the guy that got pulled out of the car that didn't put it on the screen. But you know what I get tired of, man? I'm going to be honest, bro. And if y'all going to cancel me, I know we supposed to be talking maybe a little bit of the Dave Chappelle and all that shit too. And boxing, and I'm getting there. I promise you. But let's talk about real fast this cancel culture shit. Now, I've been canceled by a lot of people, trust me. Not only by this show, but in some of the things I've been doing that I just don't stand for. I just don't let people do whatever they want to do to me, and then it's okay. I just don't do that. But here's something that's probably gonna get me canceled. Y'all talking about this dude who got pulled out of the car. And every time the police do something, and I know y'all ain't gonna like this shit, right? Because it's gonna sound like I'm being defensive, but I'm not. I'm being realistic. Every time the police do something, everybody is up in arms. But when we do some shit, don't nobody say shit. And what's crazy about this is this. We got more domestic violence going on in this country amongst each other. Is ridiculous to me. How many... I just read a story before I came on. Indianapolis, there's a brother that's on the run right now for beating and killing a woman and her 3-year-old daughter. Beating the mother to death, and the daughter is in a coma right now. And this man is out on the run. You don't hear anything about it because it's not juicy story. But all I've been talking about, or all I've been hearing all day, is the dragging of this brother out of his car. But we never talk about black women being drugged, women in general being drugged and killed by men. And that's happening way more often. And it's killing our community. And we never had those conversations. And I'm trying to figure out why we don't have those conversations. Is it not entertaining enough? Is that what it is? Why? Is that it? Look on Yahoo. There's a story on Yahoo right now of a black man, a brother that's on the run right now for murdering his girlfriend and putting her 3-year-old daughter in a coma. Why aren't we up in arms in that shit? But let one of these baby boy ass brothers, I said what I said, and I know it's gonna get me canceled. That's all right. I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. I do care. That's just a mechanism. I sincerely apologize to people that expect more from me. But why aren't we talking about that? Why aren't we talking about that? Because it really don't matter now, does it? It's not entertaining. But soon as a policeman do something or somebody else do something to us, that's the main focus. That's the main shit. See how they do us? See how they do us? See how they do us? Don't nobody know what's going on in these people's world. So yeah, all right. You can cancel me. You can put me in the same category. I'm no Dave Chappelle. But Dave Chappelle is somebody that adds humor to the truth. And that's why they always want to cancel people. They always want to cancel people that tell the truth. Now, some people say ridiculous things. But why do you cancel critical people and then you let the most entertaining foolish people go on and live their best lives and support what they do? Give you a perfect example. In that Dave Chappelle special, he lit some people asses up, no pun intended. He really told the truth about some things. I rock with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is the GOAT. He's not Richard Pryor, okay? But he's right on that. Man, listen, that GOAT terminology needs to be by decade. Okay, they need to figure out something that says the GOAT of a decade, of a certain era. Nobody can touch Richard Pryor when it came down to reality comedy. None of them. But Dave Chappelle is right there. Dave Chappelle says some things that were very important. He challenged you the way I challenge us. The same way I challenge us, Dave Chappelle did it in that comedy. Dave Chappelle, he challenged us. He said something about he is jealous. And I said the same thing. See, I didn't say that shit. Last year on Wyatt-Live, I said, I'm jealous of them dudes that ran into the damn state building or the Capitol building. Pardon me. I'm jealous of them. Why don't we do some shit like that? We hard about what's going on with us. They felt mistreated or whatever the fuck they in there trying to do. They felt they took it to the highest level and they just gonna run over and they gonna demand what they want. I'm jealous of them. They got the balls to do that. Do we? We run up and tear shit up, but it's in our neighborhoods. We tear the Target up. We try to break in the safe. We ring up our own shit in there. We take everything we want. We set it on fire. We out. We accomplished what? What did those guys accomplish at the Capitol other than looking stupid? Absolutely nothing. They got cased up. You get cased up for going in the Capitol, but you don't get cased up for going in the Target. I get it. Good. That's fair. That's fair. I got one other thing I want to show you that's fair for my chaos agents. Look at that right there. Hell yeah, I said it and I put it up there. I don't want to hear nobody talk about that shit about black folks get treated crazier than everybody else. We already know it does, but I just want to put one of these things up for you. One little brother who shot up at school gets $75,000 bond. The white boy get a $2 billion bond. 2 million, excuse me. I'm so used to saying billions these days. That's your favorite government. I'm just throwing little shit up here, throw little trinkets out every once in a while for us to look at. We'll talk about it one other day. Thought I'd throw it in the air. See, here's the thing. I know I'm in a tough market. Let's be real. I'm in a market where I have to follow up conversation after conversation in the city of Cincinnati of what's going wrong in the black community and why it's going wrong and whose fault it is. But we never talk about these baby boy ass dudes that's out here doing baby boy ass shit, living in their mamas in them basements and in the attic and over in the garages and shit. They represent that 10% that's bad, but we never talk about what's going on really. We just talk about the after effect. Some of y'all know what I said when I slid in the second base and said baby boy ass dudes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I know. It's not. Listen, Crystal says, oh, I'm not sure that's a fair comparison. It's not. It's not. It's not. What I'm saying to you is the way we speak out here, brothers should have had the $2 million bond. The white boy should have got a $75,000 bond. That's how we're accustomed of saying things. That's how we normally see it. That's not the case right here. 2 different crimes, both shootings, one in self-defense, one in bullying. Who really knows the story about the white guy? Do y'all really even know the story of him? Or do you just believe what's been put out there? Do you really know if he got attacked? It was a self-defense situation. Doesn't matter. Somebody got shot, self-defense. He shot somebody. That person died. They showed the video of what happened. Now, the little brother takes a gun. I don't know if it's premeditated. That's why I haven't talked about that either, because I don't know all the details. I don't know if he took the gun to school or if something happened and he went home and brought the gun back. I still don't have the details. I don't know if it was premeditated. I don't know. But I find it odd. I mean, I don't care what anybody say. I just have to look at some of the things. Maybe this is why I'm known as, whatever they want to call me. But I find it odd that a little brother that has a mouthful of gold and a diamond earring is being bullied in a suburban white school of Texas. That's a hard one. I gotta grip my common sense on that. I gotta put that together. That's not something that's not possible of happening. It's just in my mind, from what I see out here and what I deal with, it's just something different about it. I'm not saying that it's not there. It's fair for me to think outside the box, right? Is it fair for me to say some shit might be a little bit different than how everybody got this story that they don't know nothing about figured out? It's fair for me to think a little bit different and see it a little different if we all have the same amount of information, right? Which is very little. Let me share something with you. In Cincinnati, Ohio, actually it's in Mason, Ohio, about 5 years ago, a little white dude got caught selling drugs in the Mason High School. That's a suburban area of Cincinnati. Okay? And here's what happened. The young man got convicted of drug possession and trafficking drugs at the local high school. Now, suburban white kid gets convicted or gets caught selling drugs. Before the conviction came, let me give you the background of what happened. He's selling drugs at the high school, and it stays a state case. I was worried about that. I'm trying to figure out how a white kid from the suburban area of Cincinnati and Mason, Ohio, could sell $20,000 a month full of drugs, 20 grand a month, and it not be a federal charge based on the fact that his source was somebody in his family who was in with the plug. That sounds federal to me. Just from my background, it's a federal situation. Here's why. A lot of people would have looked at that situation and said, oh, he got charged little or nothing because he's a white kid out in the suburbs and they don't want that shit to stick on him and they want to make sure he lives his life the best way. No, what you missing is, and see, here's how people play on things and they think they got it all figured out. They needed the kid who was serving $20,000 a month worth of dope out of Mason High School. They needed him to be able to testify. In exchange for his testimony of getting the other people on the federal charges, they had to keep his case on a state level. That was the exchange. The feds play a little bit different. If the feds wanted that case, they could have took it, but him giving testimony might not have worked out for them because his lawyers probably told him, bro, you're going to jail if the feds pick up your case, you're going to jail for sure. If we stay at a state level, they'll be a little bit more lenient on you and give you probation. No record, this blah, 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 slap on the hand. You testified, the feds won't pick it up. But with the feds having a 98.7 conviction rate, if you cop a plea with them, you're going to jail. So the kid played his cards right because he was lawyered up. Now, the naked eye out here would say, look at this kid, white boy out at the high school selling drugs. He doing $20,000 a month. And if it would have been a black kid down at Taft or Hughes, they'd have locked his ass up for 20 years for that. Maybe so. But how many black kids do you know right next to the plug? They needed that kid. Everybody jumped my ass because I took a different position when I know the feds could have took that case, but he was more useful in getting the big fish than he was than concentrating on him. I know that. And when I know that, that's why I don't argue about how they mistreating one person over the other. because it's not a matter of them wanting to do something for the kid because he's white. It was all about the fact that they needed leverage and they needed somebody to testify, and somebody in those federal courts that had hands on, who set things up, gave them marked money, testified, and was in the game with them. And they gave that kid a slap on the wrist and passed him on down to the state so they can finish off the plug at the federal level. That's how the shit works. It had nothing to do with the little boy was white. They got the bigger fish. I know nobody want to hear the real shit. It's more attractive and it feels good to be able to make it a fictional story. Listen, don't take my approach wrong. Don't take my approach wrong. Don't think just because I think shit out sometimes, or I feel like maybe we should maybe fall back and try to figure out something different. Hey, I'm wrong sometimes. I truly am. But I would rather be wrong and think things out than to be wrong and jump to conclusions and be wrong. That doesn't make any sense. Somebody asked a question too. I'm sorry. Crystal Smith, she said, it's pretty long, sis. I don't have my glasses on my head. I saw it happen on Live with Kyle Rittenhouse. Yes, he got punched, but he wasn't attacked. He wasn't being acoustic when he pulled that gun, and he didn't have to kill anyone. He chose to do that. He was the one talking shit. Okay. Maybe so. Maybe so. Now, how much do you know, or how much do we know about the kid down in Texas, about his bullying situation? And let me ask you this, fellas, ladies, brothers and sisters, Wyatt-Live family. This might be a little sensitive question, but I mean it, and I mean it with sincerity. I don't mean to be an ass. I'm just asking a simple question. If your kid is being bullied at school, would your kid take a gun to school to defend himself? Do you have a relationship with your child where if something was happening with your child, that they would come talk to you before they was to grab a gun and go defend themselves with a gun at school? Is it me, or does it take a certain mentality to go off and do something like that? I'm just curious. I'm just asking. I think it's a legitimate question. And it's not blaming the victim. I just want to know, as a father, I would think that if my daughter's getting bullied, the last thing she's going to do to cure that situation is go grab a gun and shoot up somebody. So you want me to believe that this kid was bullied, and it's not because it's in a suburban area. I'm not tripping on that. Suburban kids could be some of the worst kids because their families are busy taking care of them. See, what's up? Celeste Benton says he's going to take his mama to school with him, as I did when I was a kid that got bullied. But here's the thing. If I get bullied at school, y'all know the story of my members only jacket. Don't get me started on that shit, because y'all know how I'm a throwback king. I'll tell you some shit that happened in the 80s all day long. Well, when I got bullied in school, I went to Sands Montessori down the way. And I got bullied by a kid, and he took my jacket. Here's what happens with black mamas that's paying attention to their kids. And y'all know this shit is 100. Black mamas that's paying attention to their kids know when their kids up to no good. They know it. They just pretend not to if something happens. Show me a black mama that don't know they son out there hustling. Then that's a mother that's not paying attention to their child. Come on, man. Stop it. Y'all can sit back here and y'all can keep massaging these baby boy ass dudes if you want to. But the bottom line is there ain't a mama not no black mama, who pay attention to their child and know that he ain't out in the streets. I don't give a damn if he take his book bag to school with him every day. You know the behavior of your kids. You know when something's wrong. You know when it's very hard to be out in the streets, live a street life, and come in the house and not drag some of that shit in there with you. You know that. Crystal Smith says, the mama went to the school. Really? And what did she do? Was she the backup? Because I didn't seen that shit before too. We had that locally right in Cincinnati. Remember that shit? Kids got into a fight. What school was that? Somebody put it on the screen. They know that more than I do. Kids got into a fight. The parents showed up. The parents got into a fight. What type of shit is that? Right here locally, Cincinnati. I'm not lying. Y'all know that shit to be real. Parents showed up to the school because their kids was fighting. And then the parents get into a fight. Now, I don't know the situation. Maybe one of the parents was ignorant and the other one wasn't. And maybe the parent just jumped off. And the other parent might have been protecting themselves. I don't know. It don't matter. Chances are I would have been the parent that probably would have got attacked by somebody and I had to defend myself. And y'all would be saying the same shit about me right now. Wyatt crazy ass went up there fighting. His daughter got into it. He didn't want nobody beating his daughter's ass, so he jumped in it. That's not the case. That's not what would have happened. That's not what it would. I wouldn't have had nothing to do physically up there unless somebody put their hands on me or my daughter. And then I would have had to be in a defensive situation. And that very well could have been what happened. However, you still got to look at somebody was the aggressor first. One of the parents had to be an aggressor first, or there would not have been no fight. No fight at all. Let me see here. Crystal. Yeah, Crystal Smith says the school did nothing. The same way CPS did nothing about child being bullied at Carson. Well, I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong, Crystal. I don't know. I don't know if they did anything or not. Are you talking about the Texas school did nothing? Listen. I get it. I get it. When you're talking about sensitive subjects like this, it is absolutely hard to give a right answer without sounding like you either don't care or you're like lost or disengaged or something to that nature. But the truth of the matter is there's just certain ways that you have to handle certain things. And I don't expect children to always make the proper decisions. That's why they have parents. It's important as us parents relay the proper information in our children so they will make better decisions in life. That's our job. That ain't no shit that's been assigned to us by some boss at our job. No, when you have a child, it is your duty. It is your commitment to make sure wise choices are made by you to pass on to your children. That's just how it goes. That's why I'm in favor of people being responsible, being liable for their kids when it comes down to certain things. You put these kids in positions to make decisions. Knock on wood, if my daughter today has a car accident because she's out there doing something reckless, I'm not saying an accident because things happen. I'm saying if she out there and she want to play with her friends and they all on the texting and all that old shit, drinking and driving or texting and driving or whatever is reckless and irresponsible, you have to blame me. Because if I don't have these sit down conversations, if I don't put my daughters in a position to be able to use my car, if I buy them a car, whatever it comes out to, I'm responsible for the things that they do out there. Now, any parent that feel like they're not, this might not be the conversation for you. I'm responsible for everything my daughters do out here. I'm a big enough man as a father. I'm a big enough man to say I'm responsible for what they do. And I knew 20 years ago when I raised my daughter up, I did some old African shit. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I did the shit they did on Kunta Kinte when Kunta Kinte's daddy raised him in Africa. I thought the shit was fly. I took my daughter out in the backyard. Y'all gonna think this shit is crazy, but I did it because I felt it was a blessing for me, and I wanted to thank God. And I did it. I had my daughter. She was, I don't know, 6 months old or some shit like that. And I had her in the blanket. This was my first child. And I took her in the backyard at nighttime, and I looked up to the moon, and I thanked Allah, God, whoever you want it to be, whoever he is to you. And I raised her in the air, and I prayed to God for this blessing. I did it. Call me corny, call me whatever you want to call me. But that love of me raising my daughter is the same love I have for her today. And when I finished my prayer with my daughter in my hand, and I brought her back, and I put her in the blanket, and I said to myself, she is my responsibility, and I have to make sure she comes first in my life, and I'm going to take care of her before I take care of anybody else. So I committed to be the best father that I possibly could be. Am I asking everybody to hold their child up to Allah? Am I asking everybody to do that? No. But am I asking everybody to be responsible for what they bring on this planet? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm the guilty one. I expect parents to take care of their children. I expect my daughters to be able to go to school with classmates that's not going to rip their members only jacket off of them. I expect those parents to be responsible if their kids are bullying other children in school. But I also expect parents to be in a position where their kids cannot take a gun to school. Look at how they let him go to school. You gonna call me judgmental? I don't care. I don't care. Call me judgmental all you want. What grade would this kid in? I don't care if he's a freshman or a senior. Why are you letting your child go to school with a mouthful of gold and he looked like a rap video? Now, y'all can say what you want to say. I don't care. I don't care if you think I'm being evil, mean, nasty, or a coon, or whatever you want to call it. But certain attention brings certain things in your life. Now, some people are going to be like, oh, why you be tripping about the dressing and this and this and this and that? Yes, I do. Because if I'm going to dress a certain way, I'm sorry to tell you this, but people that dress a certain way are treated a certain way. I said it. Call me judgmental, call me whatever you want. But ladies, I done been situations. I had a buddy of mine. We laugh about this all the time. We were at a fight in Chicago, and some lady was back in the back with us, and she was walking around, and the person that I'm talking about when I say fella know exactly what I'm talking about. This young lady was walking around back there with everything hanging out. I mean, was letting everything hang out. In the front, the back, you could see everything. And we overheard a man ask her how much or whatever. It was in reference to her looking like a stripper. I mean, you know, like a call girl. So this gentleman asked her, and we heard, like, I kind of heard, I didn't believe it, but my partner, my friend, he actually heard that conversation. And this lady got mad because this man asked her how much for the night. He would have never asked her that if she didn't look like she was available for the night for money. I know. And it was kind of funny at first until I found out who it was. And then it was not funny because I was like, well, she ain't nothing like that. You know what I mean? She ain't nothing like that. But then I had to take a breath and I'm like, well, she do dress crazy like that sometimes. And I had to really think about, you know, how you represent yourself. And there's just a certain way that we have taken pride in being, I don't know. I don't know. We gotta kind of. It's like rap music, man. It's like we gotta be careful on what our kids listen to, because the influence is real. I still to this day don't understand how we can have music being so influential, except when it comes to violent music. Everybody has this way of looking at violent music as not being influential, but gospel music is influential. It gets your soul, it gets you going, it makes you feel good. If you praise the Lord, you do all of this. I don't understand why you listen to slow jams. You break up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever. Mary J. Blige has inspired a whole lot of people based on her music. Mary ain't never sat down at the kitchen table and told you nothing, but her music talks to you. Her music influences you. Her music puts you in the same area, in the same frame of mind of a woman that's gone through what she's talking about. So why isn't that music influential? Country music is influential. It's life lessons and life instances. So I'm trying to figure out, why don't we think violent music is influential? I mean, come on, bro. I just got to be 100. When I was coming up, we listened to the Ghetto Boys. We listened to Scarface. We listened to some things, and it was an influence. I got a friend of mine who hit licks and did what he did, and on his way to hit his lick, he always put the Scarface CD. It was a tape at that time. Those things was gassing you up. You smoke weed, you get high, you go do what you do. The music helped lead the way. So it ain't like that now. You know, the music of today is more about price tags and how much things cost. It's just changed. And one of the things I say about that is this: we know how much everything costs, but we don't know the value of nothing. We got gold chains around our neck, $30,000, $120,000 gold chains. We got to work on this. And that's the same thing that's going into our schools. You know, some of these kids are getting teased because they're not able to reach into that, I don't know, man. Everybody don't have what everybody has. You know, it used to be back in our days, if you rock some fresh white K-Swiss, you was cool. Now you got to rock the thickest chain. And now that chain brings conflict. It brings robbery. It brings a lot of nonsense. I'm just a little confused. I'm a little confused, and I just don't get it. I just don't get that. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. We got to work on that. All I know is when I seen the picture, I was just wondering, like, I was reminiscent to bullying, the days of bullying. And I'm just wondering, like, hold on one second. I'm just wondering, what's different about then than today? What's different? Hold on one second. Yeah, John, hey, hit it back. Text me back. Okay. I'm going to wait and see how this thing play out before I say anything about what happens. That's all I'm going to do. I need facts. I need to know the story. I need to know what's going on. That's not hard to, that's not a bad thing. Hold on one second. There you go. Cleopatra Jones says, I meant to say, back in the day, I did an interview with the news about the music. I'm just wondering, how did you feel about it, Cleopatra? I remember, wasn't it Maxine Waters that was trying to shut down NWA? Wasn't it Maxine Waters that felt like maybe she was on to something? I know I was tripping when she was talking about it. I was one of those that was actually tripping. She didn't like the fact that we were saying bitch and hoes and sluts and all this old derogatory stuff about our women. Now I get it. Maybe because she was older, I had a little bit more, you know, I just didn't respect what she was saying. Maybe because I thought she was dated. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. She said something. She said, C. Dolores was. Stephen Speed says Dolores Tucker was. Oh, okay. That's who it was? I get disturbed with it. I'm getting disturbed with the music situation. You got some of these guys that are ODing and on lean and things of that nature, and I'm reading about it. And one of the things that Dave Chappelle said that was intriguing was, it's funny, what was the rapper's name that got canceled, had all his dates removed, blocked or whatever because of what he said about gays and AIDS, things of that nature. Was it Lil Baby? Not Lil Baby, but it was one of the babies or little somebody. Dave Chappelle said something that was crazy. That the baby, okay, there it is. Thank you, Crystal. Dave Chappelle said something that was very intriguing. And he said the baby killed somebody in Walmart. And he was looked upon as being a gangster and this and that, even though it was self-defense. But then he gets canceled. He gets taken away for offending gay folks. And I thought Dave Chappelle hit something. He hit a home run with that point. If you haven't watched the Dave Chappelle special on Netflix, man, you have to watch that. First of all, let me just say this. I am truly a Dave Chappelle fan. He's the only one that can bring it the way it needs to be brought. He doesn't add any diplomacy to how he says it. He's a true craftsman of his craft. And he went in and he reminded me I'm no Dave Chappelle, so don't get this all twisted and out of line. But Dave Chappelle truly reminded me of my approach of how I say things that are very difficult to say. If you only knew how difficult it is to say some of the things that I say, it's truly tough. And the reason why I say that is because there are people who say that I hate black people. And these are the same folks who don't know me. These are the same folks who don't do shit for the black community. These are the same folks that I truly would call chaos agents. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you and say this. And I hope they're still listening. There's an individual that has attacked me on another show. And I call these type of people who are on radio shows and on podcasts and who got a lot to say about shit all the time, groupies of the radio and podcast world. Groupies. People that show up backstage, got things to say, want to be part of the circle, but ain't really being productive people. My granny used to call these people empty cans. She used to always say, you know, Rand, and I've said this to people before, but I need these people who are probably listening because I had to block another one who came in under an anonymous name, which I'm not a stupid ass man. You so predictable, bro, that your conversations always sound the same, okay, for your dumb ass. But you're an empty can. And my grandmother used to always say, the emptiest can make the loudest noise. Just kick a can down the street and see which one make the loudest noise. It's always the one that's empty on the inside. Now, here's the thing. You show me how I hate black folks, and I'll show you my receipts of what I do for my community. You show me how I'm soft, and I'll show you how hard I go in the paint for my folks. You show me the conversation that you've been having for decades over decades on these platforms and radio shows and all this old bullshit you've been on your whole life. You show me how that's paying off other than giving you some clout of your own. You show me how that's beneficial for you. And I'll back up. I'll say, you're right, I'm wrong. But I don't know. I don't know if y'all seen the comments, but I could read them, but they're on YouTube. This is an individual that has done nothing but allow somebody else to influence his mind that I need to be attacking other platforms, and I'm not going to do that. Because your dumb ass fall for the banana in the tailpipe don't mean I'm going to do that. And this a brother, y'all. This is a brother. This is a dude who call himself a brother, who ain't lived nowhere near like how we live. He argue for shit and ain't even in them conditions. This man argues about the bullshit that's going on at City Hall and what's going on in city politics and all this old shit. And nigga, you live in the suburbs. Go sit your dumb ass down. You ain't even pay taxes in the city of Cincinnati. You don't even represent black Cincinnati. You don't know nothing about black Cincinnati. It ain't even your fight. You stay out in the suburbs, bro, and you keep your arguments to yourself. That's all I can say to you. And I know you like to be relevant on radio and podcasts. I understand that shit. I get it. You got to have something to do. That's usually what people that are empty do. And that's why people call you out. Me, you're irrelevant to me. Irrelevant. And just because I'm having this conversation don't necessarily mean that I'm taking you serious, bro, if you want to say that, bro. The reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because there are you across this country in every city. There's a radio junkie in every city. You just happen to be the one in the city of Cincinnati. You ride the, you know what, on every platform that you can get a little inch on. And instead of you supporting or maybe bringing in, positive energy, you're exactly what keep this type of shit going. And those podcasts and radio people love you because you're not as productive as you think you are in your arguments. You're more productive for them to add more content to their platforms. You're irrelevant. You get nothing out of it but a little bit of clout for that 10-minute, 5-minute call. Make it make sense to me, bro. I hate black people. I hate black people. You absolutely right. I hate black people like you, because it's black people like you that's been saying the same shit over and over again and putting the batteries on the back of people because their arguments, you've learned that argument. But let me ask you something. Have you learned how to be counter? Have you really learned how to fight the fight of getting out of oppression and getting to the next level? Have you ever known? Because you're a one-trick pony, bro. You just like Deontay Wilder's right hand. That's it. There's no substance to what you talk about. You name drop. That's all you do. Stop. Them politicians don't give a shit about you. How's the politics in the suburbs where you live? Talk about that. Talk about the differences from the inner city and from where you live. Bring that up in your conversations, and let's see how relevant your conversation may be. I think I gave this way too much energy. I'm sorry. Fame comes in. He says, "Stop bullying the black suburbanite." My gosh, he laughed all out. You know what I'm talking about, bro. These dudes be talking that shit, man. And you know what? Here's the thing. They so transparent, Fame. So transparent. Because you come on and you say that you tried to get my audience away from me. But I seen that's what you was doing, and I didn't want no parts of that. Why would I want to do that? Why do I want to be going against a brother? Why would I want to do that? Why? Here's the thing. If you don't like what we talking about on this platform, bro, it's 3-to-1 ratio. In your city, there's a 3-to-1 ratio of what blacks talk about on podcasts and on radios. You got all day to play with them folks. Why you over here if you're not just trying to be confrontational? Why? You have nothing else to do. You a radio podcast groupie. That's all. You have no substance. Your name don't ring in your city or the city of Cincinnati for being productive at being productive at what you talk about. None of the politicians use you in their ads. None of them politicians use you for anything other than the fact that when you get one that you can get a little traction with and can speak about them, they'll let you be on their team. Meanwhile, you'll come over here fucking with us. Why? Why? You got enough traction. You got radio. You got podcasts. They mess with you. They mess with you. I don't. So what? If I block you or don't want you over here, why are you tripping on that shit? We ain't talking about nothing you want to be part of. We talking about solutions over here. You still talking about what they ain't doing for people. Is that what's really going on in your life? I bet you got more than what you talk about. You live in the suburbs, nigga. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Let's move on. Shut up. Let's move on. Stephanie House said, try a little harder, sis. Crystal Wheelwright is back. That's my sandbox, y'all. She was in jail. You know I got a t-shirt for you. Inmate number 55602. All the inmate numbers will start with 513 if you're in the city of Cincinnati. I got a Facebook jail t-shirt for Crystal Wheelwright. Let's welcome her home, y'all. Crystal, did you get the care package that I sent you, babe? Did you get your jail package? I sent a box. I sent a box to your messenger. It got toothpaste. It got all the shit that when you go to Facebook jail, we send boxes. Remember last year? Remember last year when people went to Facebook jail? I was sending boxes, care boxes. I sent Crystal one. Oh, there's Brenda Harris. What's good, Brenda? She says the essence of substance. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let's see. All right, Tracy. I'm sorry. I did notice this was your first time here. Welcome to Wyatt-Live, Tracy Dillingham. She says, this is my first visit here. And I'm like, well, damn. I'm sorry. See, this is the problem with sometimes filling in those spaces that need to be talked about. You caught us on one of them days. Tracy, let me just be honest. I know you visit platforms, you see things, you hear things. You probably didn't hear that I've been attacked on another platform. I will never say the platform because the platform is not guilty of being complicit in anything of that. And it's a brother. So I'm going to keep it civilized. And I'm going to keep it where it's at. But I don't appreciate being called soft away from the platform. I had to think about it over the weekend a little bit. I thought I needed to address it. I don't want to attack, but I just want to let you know this dog will bite. And it's a little different kind of bite because I don't have a boss. So don't get it fucked up. All right? Don't let certain things get by you. I'm not a radio dude. I'm not a podcast dude. I'm none of that. I don't have none of them obligations. You know, it's not my job to sit back and be ridiculed or criticized, especially when I got work put in. That's all I can say about that. Let's see. Let me see something. Well, you know what, Crystal Smith? I love this little sister, man. She be on it. She said a drop needs to stop signifying. Well, you know what? I agree, but I appreciate the fact that, you know, I don't know. Maybe I should take your advice on that. Maybe I should be okay. Maybe I should listen to what you're saying there, Crystal. You do understand. There is nobody that's from where we from that don't understand. Let me explain something to you. I went to some schools in my life where people would smile in your face and act like you the shit and act like you cool, and they killing you in the background and trying to get you in trouble. And then when you slap them in the head, they go run to the people and be like, this is what happened. Y'all know we all done been there. Somebody antagonized you. We all have been there. Somebody is just poking that bear, antagonizing you, constantly doing something to you because they don't think you will do something. And to be honest with you, I try not to. But we all see the game. You all see the film. You see the game when people they poke at you and they don't think you'll do anything. Or say anything. Mama didn't raise that type of dude. I got diploma. I'm cool, but I ain't really like, don't try. See, that's that shit. That's how that bullying shit gets started. When somebody start getting fly and you just let it go and they think, oh yeah, you soft, or they don't want to be dealing. See, this is what get people in trouble. Well, you know what? Let me just say this to you. Hey, Angela and a few others. Don't put it all on Drop. Don't put it all on Drop. Drop didn't make nobody say anything. See, that's that one thing again where, you know, we looking at somebody, yeah, he might have instigated it. He may have had something to do with he might have had something to do with bringing it to the attention, to the forefront. But it didn't make somebody say what they said. That's all I can say about that. It don't make people who say things, you know, ain't nobody make nobody say nothing. Tracy Dillingham. What you say? What you say, Crystal? Keep that bullshit over there. I agree. Well, Yeah, you're right. And we're going to leave it right there. We're going to leave it right there, Crystal. We're going to leave it right there, sis. You know how many of the sandboxers reached out to me and was like, let that shit go, bro. It ain't nothing. And you're right. It stops productivity. It stops the whole purpose. It stops us from being productive. And we don't want to do that. Right? We don't want to do that. See, some people want to keep you slow and, slow to the beat on how things are going. And obviously, when certain things that they argue or points that they bring up for decades are not working, and then you bring something new to the table, or not necessarily new, just different, then they may have a problem. I don't know why. I don't know why we get to a point where it's considered self-hate. I don't know. Why is it self-hate when we are critical on one another? Why? There's my man Marcus. What's good, Marcus? Marcus, how's that heart feeling? Marcus, no. That's my brother from Ohio Loves Boxing. And he's right. Ohio runs boxing. He's absolutely right. We run this shit. Hey, Marcus, remember, bro, what you said, man? You said, I got Wilder. My heart has Wilder in this fight. And I sent that, we had the communication. Bro, I'm sorry, man. I knew that wasn't going to happen. I knew that wasn't going to happen. He said, I'm feeling better. Hey, Marcus, was you on Fame's sports betting show over the weekend? Did you see? I was a guest on there. And, bro, it came off exactly how your boy predicted it. Listen, now I'm with you. I wanted Wilder to win. And the first round, folks, I gotta say this. Some are probably gonna tune off, and that's fine. But trust me, we'll get. I just need to go off on this. The first round, the first 3 rounds made it exciting. Okay, I have to agree with that. The first 3 rounds were exciting because I thought for sure that Wilder was gonna do something different. I didn't expect him to, but I thought with a new trainer that maybe this guy would make him do a little bit more with his left hand, which is jab. And he came out full blazing jabs to the body. I told Fame Rothstein on his sports betting show, I said to him, bro, if Wilder is the same Wilder, it's going to be the same outcome. And I mentioned that Wilder has to add a certain things. I said it's very hard for him to come out and be a brand new person after fighting the way he's fought for 30-something fights. And fighting this way since he was 18 or 19 years old, you're not going to change a 36-year-old fighter overnight or in one count. It's impossible to do that. And Wilder was a different Wilder in round 1. But like most fighters, to be honest with you, I don't mean to be disrespectful because I've never fought at that high of a level like that. Never. But I've been around it long enough to know that when Wilder came out, I said to myself, if he keeps that energy the entire fight, it's going to be a different fight. I was 30 seconds into feeling that way in round 1. After round 1, I'm going to be honest with you, Marcus, and to a few other people. Now, y'all know I got nothing but love for Deontay Wilder. Those that know me truly know that I would never wish any bad on Deontay Wilder. He's an amazing guy away from the ring. I know you've heard me say that about a few other people. But this guy is different. I mean, the man, I don't know if I ever told y'all this story, but we were in Vegas. And Deontay Wilder and I were talking, and he said, before we even got deep into it, the man actually bowed to me. I mean, this is ridiculous. Hey, Marcus, bro, you know I rock with them dudes. So, but he He bows to me, bro, and called me a king. I know I probably told this story before, but I'm just going to rehash just a little bit because it hurt my heart what happened Saturday night. It hurt me even more to predict it. But this man, let me share this real fast because this is one of my treasurable moments. This is something that I really, really love. We were in Vegas and we were chopping it, right? And the man already had been up in the echelons of $27 million. Up in the echelons of $27 million this man has made. And I mean, he is the biggest giant, lovable guy you can ever know. And this lady came over while we were talking. We were in the back and he was talking. I guess he wanted something to drink. She asked him if he wanted something to drink. And they had this refrigerator, in the dressing room. And she said, "Can I get you something to drink?" And he said, "What do you have?" And she said, "Well, we got," and she ran down the list. He said, "No, I'll just have a water." And he said, "Is that them over there?" And I'm looking at my fridge down here. And he was like, she said, "Yeah, yes, but I'm going to get it." And he said, No, I'll get it. He looks over at me. He says, "Wyatt, can I get you something to drink?" And I'm like, "No, champ, I'm good." He walks over to the refrigerator and he asked everybody who he knew, including the lady, can I get anybody anything to drink? I'm over here." It was almost like we was out watching a game or something and he just happened to be at the refrigerator. Some of y'all don't even have buddies or day ones that are that kind to you. Get your ass up and get it yourself. But he's not that. This man is unbelievable, yo. He's like, "Wyatt, can I get you something, man? I'm over here, bro." I'm like, "Champ, can I get you something over there?" You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a different dude. He has a heart. So I didn't want to say what I had to say, but when it comes to the fighting game, I got to keep it 100. People were betting money. I wanted to keep it 100. I wanted to tell people the truth about what needs to be said. About the game. But when the man literally bows down to me, when I'm Chinese, bows, and he's like, "Brother, you are a king." I didn't ask for none of that shit. I don't serve a purpose in his life. I can't make a difference. I'm not his manager. I'm not his promoter. I'm none of that. But he's very well respectful to people. He don't owe me that much respect. And I'm gonna tell you something. It is not a fake persona that this man has when he walks to the ring or when he gives these praises to people. Out in the open, and when he bows, when he says these things, this is his day to day. This is how he is. This is what he does. And nobody can tell me this man was not a warrior on Saturday night. This man took a beating. And I'm going to tell you something. Here's my sadness in this whole thing. I hear people talking. Marcus, pay attention to this, bro, because I want you to put this on your page. This is the difference between black fighters and fighters of other ethnic groups. The black community will probably shun him. Okay? It's sad in our community because in the fight world, Marcus, you know this to be true. Once we take a loss, don't nobody really want to pay attention to us anymore. They say that Deontay Wilder will be okay, and we want to see him fight Joshua. Now, they talking that shit. But give it a day or two, and they will... Bro, we've been around this 20 plus years, man. This is the reason why Floyd is so relevant, because of the 50-0. And most professional fighters of color, black fighters that we are around, will tell you that it's just a different thing. Mexican fighters can lose and they keep their followers. Asian fighters, Australians, bro, they keep their followers, and you know it. But when we take a loss, We hear it. Social media, it get crazy. Even the fighters talk about it. They talk about it. Floyd Mayweather has brought it. I'm not the first one to say anything like this. Floyd said it a long time ago. He said black fighters are least are supported the least in this sport. From network deals to promotion companies, from the fan base. And I have to agree with that from the inside in. I'm on the inside looking in, and on the inside looking out, he's absolutely right. And we're going to see what happens with Deontay Wilder. We're going to see if he's going to get that same love from us, and it's well-deserved, whether his style is what you like or not. Whether you like how he stands in his style and how he telegraphs his right hand or all the shit we know. But let's just be honest. Marcus, you know boxing. Let's just be honest about this. We know that Wilder's not the skillest fighter, especially in the heavyweight division. But the heavyweight division is probably, and this is just me speaking from my point of view, my opinion. If you're going to have lack of skills in any division, it better be the heavyweight division. And that lack of skill better come with a solid right hand, a knockout punch. Because you can't be unskilled at any other weight class and last and be a champion like Deontay Wilder was. You can't do it. It's impossible. Let me ask you guys this question, and it's a fair question. Do you want to see, now is it too soon to ask this? Is it too soon? Is it too soon to ask if you want to see Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder go in number 4? Is it too soon to ask that? Because I quite frankly, don't want to see it. That's my opinion. I don't want to see it. It's not needed. This man Fury has beat Wilder in 3 straight fights. That was what I called the rubber band match. It's over. That trilogy was the end of what I don't want to see it. You know, Wilder may have another 5 good fights in him, and I don't care to see him fight Fury again. Do you want to see 2 subpar fighters in the heavyweight division fight? And that would have to be Wilder and Joshua. And when I say subpar, I don't mean any disrespect. I'm just going by the fact that I don't think Joshua can beat Fury, okay? And why do I want to see Joshua versus Wilder? To see who's the second best heavyweight in the world? I was on Fane Rothstein's show on Saturday, and one of the things that I brought up was I would take a skill fighter over a power puncher any day. Skills pay the bills. We know the whole saying. I said, listen, if Wilder gets knocked down, which he did in the third, what was it, the 4th round? Wilder got knocked down in the 3rd, but I'm making a point about Fury getting knocked down. When Fury got knocked down in the 4th round twice, what did I say to you, Fame, if you hear? I said, listen, if Fury gets knocked down, there's a strong possibility that he's going to get up because he knows he can get up. He did in that first fight. And if he gets up, it's going to be over. If he can shake the cobwebs. Here's another inside thing y'all might not like to hear. And it's going to be a little offensive, but I have to say this. Fury was a drug addict. Okay? It's no secret. Fury had drug issues. So he's used to being able to think kind of not all there. I know that might sound ridiculous to some, but when you're a functional drug addict, you tend to be able to get through some things that other people may not get through. And when Fury got up, he know how to shake those cobwebs because he knows how to function when his mind ain't doing things right. I know that might not make sense to some people, but you got to understand that's what them drugs do to your mind. And to get knocked down twice by a man that hit as hard as Wilder does, and to get up, I said, if he shake them cobwebs, it's over for Wilder. Let me tell you what happened. Fury only got caught by them punches because he was taking the fight for granted. He knew by round 4 he had Deontay Wilder right where he wanted him. He was beating him up. Fury got caught with a side shot to the side of the head, knocked him crazy a little bit. Equilibrium fell off, and he hit the ground. He barely survived that round, but he did. And he only got caught with that shot because he was playing around. He had already knew. Him and him in his corner already said, see, he back to doing what he do. This was round 3. He was already doing what Wilder already do. And unfortunately, the game plan that Wilder had went out the window by the second round. It was over. He had to make new adjustments, and we already know that that's not in his favor to make adjustments. I just want to make sure, and I can't do anything about this, but I want to say this. I think Wilder did the black community as being a heavyweight. He did us a great service. He was a great ambassador for the heavyweight division. He wasn't arrogant. He never got in trouble. He ran the division with dignity and respect. He yelled a little bit, bomb squad, that's his thing. That's his calling card. Outside of that, the man was never disrespectful. He never talked business outside the ring. You lined him up, he knocked him down. But Saturday night's fight was a throwback heavyweight fight. And I'm going to be honest with you and say this, and Wilder probably won't even like this, but Wilder has more heart than he has skill. He has more heart than he has skill. And unfortunately, heart is not what it always takes to win a fight. I told Fame on this betting show, Fame Wrestling, I told him, I said, Fame, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Wilder is he's a good conditioned man. Like, he can weather a storm. Like, he's great physically. He's a conditioned specimen, right? But that's not what always wins fights. That just means that you can last longer through some beatings sometimes. And if the other guy get tired of whooping your ass, maybe one of your right hands will connect. I'm sorry I said that, but that's exactly how this played out. I'm not taking anything away from Wilder, man, but I can't bet my money with my heart. And the question was, where my money go if I was to bet? And then when you ask me why I feel that way, I got to be honest and tell you the truth. But I'll tell you this, man. If Wilder didn't win your heart, if he didn't get a different level of respect from us, the people that he represents, because Wilder ain't on that bullshit. Y'all can say what you want to say, but he's a proud black man, and he makes that very clear. Just being honest. And sometimes when you put your people on your back, it ain't always the best thing to do. As ridiculous as that might sound, it's added pressure. And that pressure can force you to do things that you just don't want to do, that you don't need to do. Does anybody understand what I'm saying? When you overexert yourself, when you feel like you can't lose, because it's going to be this, it's going to be that. I'm representing my folks. I got this pressure on my back. Go fight for you, King. We'll be there. We'll be there, bro. Trust me. But when you put the whole black community on your back, bro, that's an added pressure. See, I'm going to be honest and tell you, Wilder don't feel like he let himself down. This brother has a heart of gold. And I'm going to tell you something. That man's biggest problem right now in life is he feels he let his people down. That's his problem. He feels that way right now. He know he lost the fight, but he feel he let us down. I reached out to him, not the night of the fight. I would never do that. I don't know a fighter that I'm cool with the same night. If they take a loss, I've never text them. I've never sent out I let them read all the fake shit first. I let them go through shit. Real people wait and give them what they really need to hear and give them the heart that needs to be expressed from me. And I did that. Sunday, I sent a text, shot me a text right back. But I'm going to tell you something. This man feels he let the people down, not just him. And that's not fair. Now, us people who he feels he let down, we cannot give up on him. Because that's been our MO. Black fighter lose. Oh, shit. Can't do that. Can't do that. And I want to say one other thing. Marcus, I hope you're still here. This is one of the reasons why younger fighters choose not to be tested. Now, y'all know I'm in the fight game, and one of the things that a lot of people talk about is wait a minute, my son drives 80 to 82 miles on the highway. He got T-boned by somebody going 35 miles an hour. Car total. I don't feel responsible for this for the seed I planted when he started driving at 16. Chose to ignore now at age 20. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry about that. I hope he's okay, Tracy. I feel that way about my daughter if she was to do something irresponsible. I think that's where I was going with that. I mean, I don't mean to be disrespectful for how people do what they do with their children. I'm just saying that I feel responsible. It's a subconscious thing with me. I feel responsible for whatever my kids do out here because of it's a reflection on me. Like if my daughter was to start getting some of her friends high and I'm indulging in drugs, I would feel like my daughter was, I would feel responsible for those decisions. Yeah, that's just me. I don't mean to be disrespectful, Tracy. That's how I felt like at that time. I just feel like the things that my daughters do away from me are a reflection of me. That's just me. Now, an accident, come on now, sis. Don't compare an accident to an action. That's a little bit different. I don't mean like if they made a problem. You know what I'm saying? I meant like if your son was out here doing some reckless stuff on purpose, it's on you, sis. I'm saying like if he going 82 or 80 miles an hour out here flying and shit and texting and driving and doing some things out here or is under the influence, your son probably smart enough to know not to do stuff like that. If we're talking about a pure accident, sis, come on now, an accident happens. I'm talking about when they become reckless in their behavior. It's a little bit different. But yeah, I'm sorry, I lost train of thought on Wilder there. But we as a community have to stick behind our fighter. And let me just say this to you. I was going to say where I was going with the younger fighters is a lot of young fighters today don't really want to get into something tough right away. And I get it. I respect it. But it's not always because of the challenge. It's just in case something goes wrong. What if they lose? See, Floyd kind of messed up the game a little bit with the 50-0. It's appreciable. Floyd is the best fighter ever. He's one of my favorite, if not the favorite. However, there is a sense of disappointment that I have. And what I mean by that is this. A lot of young fighters take fights and they want to be favorable. I get it. You want to build a fighter the right way. I get it. But a lot of them are afraid to get challenged, not because they're afraid of the other fighter, not because they're afraid that they're not good at what they do. A lot of them are afraid of the repercussions of a loss. A lot of these fighters aren't signed to big promotion companies. They don't have big managers. They don't have that. So one of the things that would totally make you a non-existent situation is a loss on your record. It's tough enough. It's tough enough. Marcus, you know what I'm talking about, bro. It's tough enough to be 6-0, 7-0, 8-0, and 9-0, and 10-0, and be in a position where these big companies will pay attention to you. They look at what they call is a box wreck. Shit, I know some fighters that was 10-0 and ain't fought nobody. See, I don't mean to be disrespectful when I say nobody, because I believe you got to be something to go in the ring. Okay, I would never discredit anybody for going in the ring. But let's be real. When you're fighting somebody, if you're 10-0 or 11-0 and you're fighting a guy that's like 2-22, you're not doing yourself any service. However, you're being too safe. But then that record of 2-22 goes on your record as a win. You chalked up a win, but the powers that be, the big people upstairs, are looking at your box rec, and they're looking at your competitive nature. And they're looking at what you have faced and what are you capable of and what's your experience. All that shit plays a part in this game. They also look at your risk factors. They look at what you've done. They look at your body of work, so to speak. 10-0 don't mean you a bad motherfucker. It means you 10-0. 20-0 don't mean you a bad boy. They look at your body of work. But let me just say this in defense of those fighters. I understand. I understand why they do what they do, and I understand why they are where they are with it. Because if they take one loss, their career could be over before it starts. But it don't have to be that way. It don't have to be that way. Marcus, what's the kid name out of Philly? Kevin Farmer? What's his name? Kevin Farmer was like, shit, he was like 23-4. What was his name, Marcus? Wasn't it Kevin Farmer? Wasn't he the guy that was calling out Tank all that time? He was 23-4. He had like 3 or 4 losses. Tevin Farmer, my bad. Tevin Farmer had 5 losses. Nice little fighter, tight little fighter. Didn't get his world title till he had 5 fights, 5 losses, 4 or 5 losses. Now somebody explain to me. They gave him a shot, but he earned it. He had to take those risks. He took his losses early in his career. How he bounced back? Try telling 5,000 other fighters that blueprint, bro. How he bounced back, I don't know. He took a couple risks. He won. He put himself in position. But that's very unusual, and that's what these young fighters are afraid of. It's not afraid of the other fighters. They're not afraid, man. I don't know a fighter that got skills that's afraid. The only thing they're afraid of, and I could be wrong, ask one of them. They can say they the baddest man in the world. They can do the Instagrams and the photos. They can do all that shit. They can be internet stars and all that shit. They are not afraid to fight someone. They're afraid of getting a loss. It's detrimental to them. So I'll never say, oh, he don't want to fight nobody. He ain't shit, because I understand the business end of it. And those that want to challenge it, I got receipts. I know I don't say a lot of favorable shit, And I know sometimes real stuff get challenged by people that just don't understand because they don't have the insight. They may not know. And I'm not trying to be a Mr. Know-it-all, but I'm telling you what I know about this industry. I got money invested in it. Now, if you want to take the words from somebody that ain't got no dime, here's the thing. Here's one of the things I like to say to you. And I don't mean this viciously. I don't mean this in a way that I feel like people should like discredit anybody that's not in this position. But I will say this. There's a lot of people that have opinions and talk facts and talk this and talk that. But you can't find them anywhere in the boxing world. They're not on BoxRec. They have no credibility, but they got a lot to say. They've been in the business many years. Ain't lost a dime, ain't gained a dime in the industry. I say to those folks, put your money where your mouth is. You got all this shit to say about these fighters. You talk about who's a bomb, who's not a bomb, but you ain't got nothing invested. And I say to you, these young fellas have been brainwashed to believe, and they're not even brainwashed. That's a hard, heavy, please let me retract that word when I say brainwashed. But they have been taught to believe that a loss is the end of their record, their career. A loss on their record ends them, and that's only in our community. Black fighters only get one shot at this shit, and it's not fair. Every once in a while, you get one. Every once in a while, you get one that's kind of exception to that rule. We got those fair weather fans, Marcus. And let them get a loss on their record, and it's tough enough. It's tough enough to make it. You get a loss on your record. Not only now do you have to get triple the work, you might have to quadruple your workload. You take a loss, you can't go back and see. The worst thing you can do, fighters, if I can pass any advice over, the worst thing you can do as a fighter is to take a loss in a competitive fight and then go fight what y'all call not the fighting industry. I'm noticing some people in here like Marcus. I'm noticing Coach Smith. These are people that are in the industry that have stake in the game. So I don't mean any disrespect. But if you got a fighter, the worst thing you can do is take a loss. That's not the worst thing you can do, but it's what you do after that loss. And then what you continuously do after that. That's my opinion. If you got 10-0 and 10 of your fighters have all been less than 500 record people, and I mean, 200%, 1%, I mean, just some horrible records to get you at 10-0. And then you lose to somebody that's right around your record. And then you drop your workload and you go down to fighting back to those 200%ers. And that's how you're going to work your way up. It's not respectable in the corporate end of boxing. It's not respectable. And that's not me. That's just how it's set up in boxing. Some will say, how you know that? Well, I've been around enough people. I've been around those that are the decision makers. I've been around enough people to know how hard it is. Coach Smith says you're damn, man, let me do this. Because your words mean a lot to me, Coach. You and Marcus and a few other of you, Coach Smith says, you're proving you can't compete at the next level. Yeah, you're talking about when you start downgrading your competition level. You're right. You're right. And we all know there's levels to this game. We all know. And most people that know boxing, that are inside of boxing, knew that Deontay Wilder was not going to win that fight because we know what it takes to beat Tyson Fury, but does any of us have that man? Does any of us have that guy? You know, my guy, if I had to choose off of a shelf of heavyweights to go in there and fight Tyson Fury, my guy wouldn't be Deontay Wilder. He does not have the skill set to beat a boxer. Styles make fights. Coaches, y'all know this. Deontay Wilder does not have the style that will beat a Tyson Fury. I told Fame Rothstein on his show on Saturday, give me the boxer over the lucky puncher any day. Give me the guy that's a good defensive fighter. Tyson Fury only got knocked down because he was playing. Okay, by the fourth round he was playing. He had Wilder where he wanted him. He knocked him down in the third. He was already goose legs and wibbly legs by the second round. He was gassed out after the first. And they had and to be honest with you, Wilder went back to being who Wilder is, and that is, I'm setting up this right hand. Did y'all not hear his corner? Did y'all not hear Fury's corner? What was it? Sugar told him. He said, all right, he there. By round, what was it? Round 3. He told him, he said, all right, he right back to where he is. He back to who he is. And he tired. Did y'all hear that? That's when the I don't know, the plan starts to be discussed over in the corner during the fight, and you hear the game plan coming out in the conversation of the corner. That mean they had this conversation during camp. We're going to make him go back to being who he really is. I'm going to be honest with you. It didn't look good. I know everybody was like, oh shit, round 1, when my man, when Wilder came out throwing them throwing them left hands, throwing them jabs to the body, he was stabbing him. Looked real good. It looked real good to some people. To my eyes, I said, he's not going to do that the entire fight. And that's what the game plan was. Jab, jab, jab. Go to the body. Jab to the body. Jab, jab, jab. You're not going to win a fight against Tyson Fury like that. Not if you can't be consistent. I don't see a puncher who doing that. I mean, Tyson Fury got to the point where he was landing hard jabs on Wilder. How long do you think a man can take that? Jabs was snapping his neck back. Jabs were coming from an angle. I mean, it was like, it wasn't even a straight jab. Is there a such thing as a hook jab? Help me out, coaches, because that's what the fuck was throwing. He was throwing hook jabs. Sound crazy, but they was coming from a slight angle, and it was a jab. And here's the other thing. A skilled fighter who can be first on the punch can dictate the pace of a fight. What I chose to do is I haven't talked to anybody about the fight. I wanted to be on Wyatt-Live with my own thoughts. I haven't listened to any podcast. I haven't listened to anything other than the night of the fight. I listened to Sean Porter and them and how they felt. Deontay Ward and, all those guys are great and brilliant at what they do. But I wanted to bring my thoughts to the platform. I didn't want to have anybody else's points in my head or any of that. I just wanted to be able to see. I wanted to be able to bring across to you on the microphone. I wanted to picture it all and bring it to you the way I seen it and how I seen this, how I seen the fight. I wanted to bring it to you that way. I didn't want to. Now I watch certain podcasts that are primarily boxing, and they all have their opinions on things, and I'll probably watch them now after our show. But I really wanted to just bring my own twist or my own opinion to it without being, manipulated by others. Hold on one second. Let me read this what Coach wrote in. Coach said, it looks like Wilder didn't work. Hold on, I'm sorry, Coach. He said it didn't look like Wilder worked on what he was weak at in camp. He only tried to get better at what he was already good at. He had no defense for the right hand. Kept getting hit with it all. Kept getting hit with it all night. You're right, Coach. I seen no game plan. And if the game plan was put together by Wilder and his new group, his new team, new trainer, I'm sure they had a game plan. But, Coach, you and I both know game plans go out of the window when you get hit. Or if you abandon it too soon, you'll never know if it's going to work. And I think what happened was Tyson Fury's a better fighter. And he took Wilder out of whatever game plan they had. He forced him to be who he always has been. I mean, that only makes sense. I mean, that makes sense, bro. It's very hard to reconstruct yourself 30-something fights into the game if you're not that type of fighter. I mean, come on, bro. He's not an adjustment type of guy. He's not. He's very entertaining when he's fighting somebody that'll stand in front of him. It's timber all night. But, bro, y'all do understand. Tyson Fury, to me, is like, I got to get old school on y'all. Tyson Fury, to me, is like a Larry Holmes. Long arms, can box on his toes. He ain't going to stand in front of you. Now, Larry Holmes got older and he would stand there and shoot his shots and this and this and that. But Larry Holmes, the prime Larry Holmes, that dude was like a big dude fighting like he was a 147 type of guy. On his tiptoes, shooting the jab. He was doing things that big guys just wasn't normally doing. And that's what Tyson Fury does. Do y'all see that man on his tiptoes? He don't get flat-footed until you dead and out and tired. That's when he start using his skills of setting his shots up. That's it. But how was Wilder ever going to get his right hand going if he's jabbing and stabbing to the body and sitting himself down there? I don't get it. I don't get it. I would rather see a double jab upstairs. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You're going to work the body. Put the jab up in his face, couple to the head, pow, 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 and then go to the body with the right hand. That's your power shot anyway. Y'all already know that he was done in round 2, bro. He was tired. I don't want to hear, I know a lot of boxing coaches will say that he put too much on every shot. I agree, but he's a heavyweight and he's a knockout guy. But he absorbed a lot of energy. He lost a lot of energy, man, by putting a lot on his shots. I have nothing but love for Deontay Wilder. I hope that he will bounce back, but I hope that we bounce back for him. And what I mean by that is, man, we gotta be there for our fighters a little bit more. You know, we gotta be a little bit more supportive of these guys when it come down to them taking losses. You know, y'all talking about him and Joshua fighting now. I don't know if y'all really going to try to support that. I don't know if y'all really want to do that, if y'all really will do that. It's easy to say now because the dust is still in the air. When the dust clear, will you feel the same way? Because I've seen a whole lot of careers change up by these fighters once they take a loss. I don't even know if my man is going to bounce back from that fight physically. When you take that type of punishment physically, it can definitely be damaging on your mind. How do I know this? No, I've never been in a war like that. But I've seen a lot of fighters go through that same situation and never come back the same. I don't mean any disrespect. I'm saying it from years and years and years and fighter after fighter and after fighter. You know, Tyson Fury is a really good fighter. I mean, what do you fight for now if you are Wilder? What do you fight for? You've made $47 million. We fighting to see who's the best second place heavyweight? Are we fighting for another chance to be able to fight Fury? Who wants to see that? I'm just going to be honest and say, I'm not one of those guys that want to see this fight again. I don't. I mean, this is almost like watching. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't mean any, I'm not trying to belittle the situation, but come on, guys, let's be honest. If you go to a magic show and you watch the magician and he do this trick and you be like, damn, how did he do that? And then the next night he do the same trick and you be like, damn, how did he do that? And it amazes you every time you watch that trick. And then one day you catch him in the hallway of the hotel, downstairs in the hotel, and you stop him and you say, Mr. Magician, that trick you do with those cards, that's the dopest shit I've ever seen in my life. And the man says, hey, I tell you what, Wyatt, let me show you how that trick go. Watch this. And then you slide this one and you slide that one and you slide this one and you put this and you do that and bang, that's how it looks like an illusion. You got the trick. Now the next time you go to the show and you watch that man do that trick, it don't look all that special anymore because you know the outcome and you know the hidden mirrors and the tricks. You know the thing. That's how I feel about Wilder Fury. I don't think anything can be done that would make me feel like I don't know the trick. No other new trainer. Here's the thing. I didn't agree with the change in the trainer. I didn't agree with that. I never said anything, but I didn't agree with it. That man saved Wilder's life that night. But I understand as a fighter, you want to go off on your shield. I understand that. And I don't feel like Wilder did anything wrong, but I didn't agree with the firing of his trainer. I did not agree with that. Guys, I believe that is my time. Let me just make sure I got everything here. Yep. I think, yeah, that's, I got the text message, bro. Yo, I appreciate you coming in. Happy Monday to everybody. Peace and joy. Nothing but love with everybody, man. Maybe we'll finish up tomorrow about some other things that I discussed. I'm glad I was able to get a few things off my chest. Yo, I appreciate you. This is Wyatt. Peace and love to everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. At what time? 5 o'clock. I'll holler at you.
They say it's a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Nigga or a nigga, baby, I gotta make it. It's a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Lego or a Lego, baby, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. They say it's a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up high. Lego or a Lego, baby, I gotta make it. Oh, I hope I make it. They say it's a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Little or a little, baby, I gotta make it. It's a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Little or a little, baby, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. They say this a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up high. Lego or a Lego, baby, I gotta make it. I gotta make it. Oh, I hope I make it.